All right. So good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Big waves out there. I love this group. I love these people. You guys are so fantastic. And I am excited to be on here today with a very special guest of Ashley Paulsen. So Coach is running around as Coach is running around. And Coach Myra is running around as Coach Myra is running around. And so Ashley and I are going to rock it, and then we'll do our running around after. So thank you guys for having us. Always excited to be on here with you. And our word today is so timely, and it's adapt. And what does adapt mean? Like what does that even mean? It means make something suitable for a new purpose, right? That's one way you could look at it, or become adjusted to new conditions. And that's really going to be my focus today. I don't know, Ashley's. We didn't share notes. We probably should have. We'll adapt if we need to. So the first, I found 3 quotes that I thought, goodness gracious, so true. And the first one was Albert Einstein. And he said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Another way to put it was Stephen Hawking. And he says, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And then the last one that I saw, and I can't even see who said it, John Wooden, I think that's a coach, so that could be timely, but I'm not sporty, so I don't know for certain. But it said, if we fail to adapt, we fail to move forward. And I'm going to be so frank with you guys. I am a person that fails to adapt. I don't like change. Anybody ever read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? Like, I am not the first, the lone nut. I am not the first follower. I'm like 3 tiers down the line. I don't like change. I don't want change. The book that Coach talks about, he says, change is good. You go first, something like that. That's really been my life philosophy. But this world, if any of you have been living for the last year, I muted myself. That's what I had to say about that. If you have been on this planet for the last year and a half, the one constant, and I think it's always been this way, is there has been nothing but change. Nothing but change. Change in our work, right? Even if your job was the same job, the way you did it, I'm sure there were some modifications. Change with our families, right? A lot of people had kids home. I think about my kids, like we homeschool, right? Which means we are never home. We would have something at least 6 days a week. And then we were exhausted on the 7th, right? Running around doing everything that we possibly could. They were always with other kids. And this past year and a half, whatever it's been, we really had to adapt to figure out how in the world I'm going to get these little humans with other humans, right? And we've all seen that. Maybe the kids were home from school, whatever it may be. For me, our home, right? I moved across the country. That was a little bit of a change, little tiny little change. Went from Southern California to like the country, I think. I really saw the country last week. And then lifestyle. Just think about how, if nothing else, remember when we used to be able to, and kind of some places you can again, but you used to be able to like walk into the grocery store and go in and get your groceries and leave. And it could be like a 15-minute process. And then in the last bit, it kind of changed where for a minute there, at least in Southern California, you wait in line out front, right? And what could have been a 30-minute errand was now, you had to plan at least an hour and a half to make it happen. Or maybe you're like me and everything moved online. All of my shopping just went online. I don't think I'll ever go back to that. But we just had to adapt to a lot of changes. And there's just so many crazy changes over this last time that really there were moments that for me, it just made me want to freeze. Like my head was spinning. I thought, I cannot take one more thing. I'm done. I quit, right? So how in the world do we adapt to this ever-changing world? And so I'm just going to give 5 little tips, and then I'll hand it over to Miss Paulsen. But the first one is go easy on yourself. So when the world is coming at you, right? And there's all these different changes, just pace yourself where you can. You don't have to learn, like I think about myself, I do not have to learn all of these roads overnight. I have GPS most of the time, and I'll figure it out, right? I'll figure it out when I need to, but just pace, give yourself some grace, go easy on yourself and pace yourself where you can. And then 2, if you're a person that doesn't love change, well, create some small changes for yourself just to get used to it. And it could be as simple as drive a different route to work, right? Just take a different way to get in there, and just see how that feels. Go, start backwards at the grocery store, right? If you're a person that shops the list, flip that list over and start at the other end, right? Go to a new restaurant. And when you go to that new restaurant, don't order the same thing you ordered at the other one, right? Order something different. So just start with those small changes and get used to it, and then work your way up, right? Work your way up. 3, look for new opportunities. So when one door closes, adapt and open another one. And I think about, I really felt like, being out in California, it felt like there was a bunch of doors getting closed to me. And so I had to, look for a new opportunity, which was to move to a whole different planet, also known as a different state. 4, trust yourself, right? Trust yourself. You are strong, you are capable, and you actually have a 100% track record of surviving every single change that's come into your life up until this point, right? You've rocked this. However long you've been alive, you have adapted to so much change. So trust yourself. Know you'll get through it. It might not feel good, right? It might not feel good right now, but you can absolutely do it. And then lastly, realize that change is a process. So the people that are best able to survive, turbulence and rapidly changing environments are those that give themselves permission to make mistakes and try again, right? Just realize, you might have to start small and it might not quite work out. So regroup, redirect, and try again. Give yourself some time to unlearn all of those patterns that you have and learn those new ones. So thank you guys so much. Always a pleasure to be on here with you. And I am excited to listen to Ms. Ashley this morning. So the floor is yours, Ashley.
Good morning. How are you? Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Super excited to be on here this Monday morning with you. I absolutely love Mondays, just a new start to the week. And sometimes it's just a day that we have to adapt to, right? Because we're used to the weekend and we have to get back in the groove. But our notes did intertwine a little bit, but when you think of adapting, like Andrea said, I also went to change your behavior so that it's easier to deal either in a particular place or a situation, or wherever you're kind of at. And so I found something when I was doing my research, and it says people resist change because they believe they will lose something of value or feel that they will not be able to adapt to the new ways. And so that really was powerful to me, because when I think of changing and I think of adapting to new stuff, change is the only constant that we have in this world, right? Whether it's your environment, you guys see that I'm in a hoodie today. I usually am doing my walk right now, or in my run. It's a little bit cooler today. So a lot of times we have to adapt to our environment, right? And so I'm sitting here having my coffee and my sweatshirt, waiting for it to warm up a little bit before I get out there and make my movement. But we adapt to so much around us, and just nature, right? Just being outside, the cooler weather that's coming, adapting to a new job, possibly, obviously within everything this last year, we've probably all adapted to a lot of change, but possibly a new job or a new opportunity came your way. And then new people, that was a big one for me. Adapting to new people and new relationships. Obviously everyone's different, the people we come across, and so possibly adapting to kind of meeting that new person and getting out and branching out. Adapting to getting married. A lot of times, you're moving in with that person or whatever the case may be. You might have to adapt to a lot of different stuff when you're not necessarily living on your own. Adapting to losing a loved one. Obviously, after that person's gone, you have to adapt to a whole new world going forward. And just a lot of change within that personally. And then adapting to taking a trip or vacation. So I thought about this too, when you're on a trip, or you have to adapt to the environment, the culture, the different food, So when you think of adapting, it's really just all around us in different perspectives, right? And so kind of like Andrea said, giving yourself grace, possibly maybe even finding the humor in it, right? A lot of times it's just funny to find the humor in it because it's not something that we can change anyway. And so, try to find the positive on it and focus on the positive. Um, and then obviously adapting to stuff, try not focusing so much and being so much in your lane all the time, right? We talk about having a plan B and we talk about having possibly even a plan C, but really just being open to new ideas and to new avenues, right? And not really just focusing so much on the rut that we're living in life. And then don't do it alone. Finding a support system, whatever situation you're adapting to, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new vacation, a new friend, whatever the case is, focusing in on creating a support system for whatever situation that you're trying to adapt to, definitely with how extensive it might be as well. And then adapting to the new, sometimes that helps us find our strengths, right? That might open up some of our weaknesses and what we can improve on, but really just adapting to the new, like I said, because a lot of times it's out of our control anyway. And so it's finding our strengths, finding how we can be positive out of the situation, and moving forward. And so I also found a quote. So when Andrea read her quotes, I was like, hopefully it's not the same one since we didn't compare notes. It says, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." And that's Charles Darwin. And really change is the only constant that we have. So how can we adapt to it today? There's going to be situations that you encounter today, tomorrow, Friday, this weekend. You're going to have to adapt to those new changes. So hopefully you guys all have a great Monday. Thanks for sharing your day with me. Hopefully you guys all have a great week.
Ashley, that was an incredible message. Thank you so much. And it was fun adapting with you this morning and doing the Coaches Corner. So guys, love you so much. We've got a special guest again on Thursday. We'll have Myra on, I believe, Wednesday and Friday. And I can't wait to see you every single day. So love you guys. Happy Monday. Thank you again, Ashley. You rock. You guys have a great day.
Thank y'all, ladies.
Thanks, Ash.
You ladies.
Guys.
Yeah,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
Thank you.